We need to wait for Instagram to connect too, or
we're live.
Okay, well, let's get it going then. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us on this. What day is it? Tuesday. On this Tuesday afternoon. Excited to be on live with everybody. Haven't been home for a while, and Peyton's actually still not home. This way. There he is. This way. Okay. And he's out of the country, but we wanted to make sure that we connected with everybody, got on live, and just talked entertainment. We're gonna do a Q&A, question and answers, talking about entertainment, anything that you want to know about entertainment, anything agency wise, anything preview models wise. I know that we have some new clients on here also from Next joining us, so we're excited to get in and dig in to entertainment. How excited are you, Mr. Peyton, on a scale of 1 to 10?
Honest, if we're being honest, which you know that I always am, I'm about like a 2 because I'm hungry, and the sooner that we get through this, the sooner I get to go to my dinner. So
okay.
Increase as we get closer to the end.
Okay, so let's do this. Why don't you explain the rules of today, what we're going to be doing, how we're going to take these Q&As, and let's get into it.
There are no rules. Ask questions, and we will answer them. I guess if we are going to have rules, the rule is going to be maybe listen, because every time that we do this, I always end up asking or answering the same thing over and over and over in 10 different ways. So let's see if we can get that not to happen tonight, because we want to answer as much as possible. But yeah, this is for you guys. So utilize us. Otherwise, you're just going to hear us talk about nothing. And so ask us questions, tell us what you want to hear about tonight, and then we'll make it happen.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, Peyton and I are running preview models, and we have a production that's actually coming up in October. We're really excited about it. It's going to be in Hollywood. We have roughly about 160 models coming to Hollywood. Over 40 agencies. We have some top designers, celebrity designers, and we're excited. We're putting all the finishing touches on this major production. So we are still casting. We're casting right now for March 2025 in Los Angeles, and we actually just opened up Australia. So we are going to be doing preview models in Australia in 2025, and we are excited about that. So we'd like to take some questions. How it's going to work, just type your questions on whatever platform you're watching, anything that you have entertainment-wise, and we're going to be answering these questions. If you're not already subscribed, make sure that you guys are following the YouTube. We have a lot of free information on there. We have some agencies on there, some celebrities on there, and they're basically talking entertainment. They're giving away free information for everybody to understand the back end of entertainment, because that's the hardest part. Everybody thinks that they know how to get into entertainment, but we like to make sure that everybody is fully informed of the process, how to get in, why we do what we do, and why we've been successful now going into we'll be going into our 10th year of actually running productions in 25. So that's saying something. 10 years of doing this stuff. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. So what we want to do is let's talk about this, because I know that we're waiting for some questions. Guys, feel free to answer or ask anything that you want to know. Pick our brains about anything entertainment, how to sign with an agency, how to, what photos are good to bring to an audition, or whatever's on our minds. We're going to be on the road with preview models this coming weekend. We're going to be in Ontario, California, and also Columbus, Ohio. So those are the next 2 stops. And then the week after that, we are going to Sydney, Australia, Gold Coast, Australia, and Melbourne, Australia. So we're excited about that. So let's get into it. All right. Is it okay to bring an entertainment resume? And I think that we're talking about auditioning for preview models. When we're asking these questions, make sure you kind of give us a full layout of what are we auditioning for? Are we auditioning for a job? Are we auditioning for preview models? Are we auditioning for an agency? Because there's a lot of different things in there that we can actually answer on that. But let's start with, is it okay to bring an entertainment resume to the preview models production? Peyton, what would you say to that?
Yeah, so based on the question and no context, is definitely talking about bringing an entertainment resume to the preview models event. So if you are interested in acting or you're open to doing commercial work, then yes, you should have an entertainment resume that you bring. You can, Google these, or if you're a client with us, you can reach out to ask for an example of these. It's not a resume of your work. That's just styled a certain way. It's an entertainment resume. Like, what have you done performing in front of people before? That's what they want to know. Now, if you're just coming to the event just for like strictly modeling, which really you should kind of be open to everything if you're coming to a preview models event, let the industry decide what they want you to do. On the modeling side of things, your portfolio is really what your entertainment resume is on the modeling side of things. And so, that's one thing that we ask that everybody bring if you have that. And it's, a portfolio in the modeling world is a showcase of your work, different from a comp card.
Yeah. And if you're auditioning for anything else, maybe your agency is sending you to a casting, or there's anything else, your agency will prepare you on what to bring for whatever it is that you're auditioning for, since that was fairly open. Since I'm not able to make the Paris trip, is there any way that I could get credited towards the Australia event instead? Yes, you can. And I would reach out to the preview models administration and maybe talk to them about that, as far as where you are as with Paris and wanting to be a part of Australia. But yes, you can. If you're part of the process, you're never going to lose anything that you put in. We're going to make sure that you're a part of a production, that you have an amazing time, that you have an amazing opportunity, and you're not going to lose anything once you're with the company. Okay, so don't ever cancel. If you can't make it, we'll put you towards another event. Australia is included. Okay, what happens at a casting? When we're doing these questions, make sure we're talking about, I guess, if it's coming for preview models, but there's different types of castings, right? So castings for,
tell us like what it's coming from. I can still answer it either way. So what
go
happens?
ahead. Go ahead.
It depends what kind of casting it is.
That's what I just said. That's exactly what I just.
More direct way to make sure that in the future we get better questions. And so what happens at a casting? It depends what the casting is. If it's a modeling casting, you might be walking for that particular designer so they can see how you walk. If you're doing a casting for one of our designers at the preview models event, which is a true casting experience, you do walk for all of those designers. You actually walk for all 12 to 14 that we usually have at one time. And then you go on to a fitting. The fitting sometimes is part of the casting process, but usually not. On the acting side of things, if you're going to a casting, you're probably going to perform something, probably some sides that you were sent prior to that actual casting. So what happens at the casting? Those are generalized answers, but really just depends on what the casting is. But you always know what to expect at the casting before, if you read everything that you're supposed to, that you're sent prior to.
Yeah. And since it's kind of open, I'm just going to kind of touch on it. We have a little bit of time. Is if you're coming to a preview models casting, what happens at that casting? Well, basically, every city that we go to, we'll usually get roughly over 1,000 submissions for people that are looking to be a part of entertainment, looking to be a part of preview models. And what we do is we bring in separate groups and we audition usually about right around 100 to 150 people at a time. and we have you do a runway walk for our celebrity guests, whoever that might be, and you're going to interview with one of our casting directors. So from that, what we'll do is we'll kind of build a callback list. We'll go over our agency list of who's going to be at the production, what jobs are upcoming, what's available, what campaigns are they working on, and we start to build a cast as far as who we're seeing that weekend. Of who we might be interested in. And then we build like a callback list. So let's say you're in the group of 150, we'll usually call back roughly, I would say, usually we have a top 25 and a wait list of 25 per group. So it'll be roughly about 50 different callbacks. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll end up signing and registering about 25 new models per city that we go to the actual Hollywood production. And then where you're going to be working with all of our America's Next Top Models, all of our agencies, all of our celebrities, us, and we get you prepared for the big show that will be in Hollywood or Paris or Australia. We make sure that you have everything you need to be prepared to audition professionally in front of agencies and ultimately get signed with an agency. And the best part of it all, work in entertainment on a national or international level. All right. So how do you sign a contract with an agent? Well, normally with a pen, unless it's a virtual contract, you could sign it with your finger. All right. So as far as signing an agency contract, what are the percentages normally with signing with an agent manager, Peyton?
It's usually anywhere from 10 to 15% on average. On a management contract, you can see up to 20%. However, I think that the question is a little bit general. So how do you sign a contract with an agent? I think the real question is probably how do you get an agent? So, well, first off, you need to get in front of them. So obviously one way to do that is through preview models. That's what we're talking about. However, the typical way of getting in front of an agent is you submit online. If we're talking about a modeling agency, every major modeling agency has an online submission form. You submit based on what they're asking from you. Then generally you wait anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to hear a response. If it's a yes, you're not going to hear anything if it's a no. And then it's a yes, they may do a Zoom. They may, if you're in the area, want to see you in person. And then at that point, if they're interested, which in this industry, that means that you can make them money in some way, or they think that you can, then they will present a contract to you. And then, if it looks good to you, then you would sign with that pen or your finger, just depending on what the contract is.
So I want to ask you this, Peyton, how difficult is it to actually just knock on the agency door, talk with them and sign a contract?
That's pretty much non-existent. How difficult is it? That's impossible almost. Nothing's impossible, but the probabilities of that happening are very, very low, especially since COVID times. A lot of these companies still pretend to be scared of it just so they don't have to see people in person. Some of the modeling agencies I've heard recently are starting to do more open calls where they have an open call at their office. Generally, the way that those work, you come in and they're immediately, getting people out of there that are not a fit. And then even at that point, it's really, really hard to get, traction.
Yeah. How many people usually attend the open call? Like when the agencies do like an open call?
100 plus easy. In some of our last couple of cities, we've seen more people that have ended up at these open call castings, particularly because we were doing auditions near the New York area. And because they haven't been doing these open calls and they've only been doing online, they're seeing a lot of people. And, not only do you have to have the look, that's one side of it. You also have to be competitive. And so that's where, this resume that we were talking about, this portfolio comes into play. Maybe even your follower count these days may come into play. So again, you'll hear us talk about this a lot. Not only do you have to get in front of these people, you also have to be competitive. So it's hard. It is hard.
Yeah. That just kind of brings me into the point as far as like, why does preview models exist? I mean, that's what we do. What the difference as far as going and doing this on your own and what we do is we're not reinventing the wheel here, but what we do is we listen to the agencies as far as what they want, what they need, what they're looking for their talent, to actually sign that talent. So when you come through like the preview models productions, we're going to give you every tool necessary that you're going to need to be successful in entertainment, to sign with an agency, and also be competitive in a national casting setting. And as far as our agency day, we have some of the top agencies in the world that come to the preview models productions. Each production that we do, we have roughly between 30 and 40 national, international agencies that attend this production. Is that right?
That is correct. Mostly national agencies for our Los Angeles event. Some of them have some international, subsidiaries that they work with, but we're mostly looking at national for the LA event. You got to go to one of the other events for the international exposure.
Some of those agencies have suppositories.
Subsidiaries.
Oh, subsidiaries. Okay. All right. So we have between 30 and 40 different agencies that we actually are going to put you in front of. We pre-market everybody. We look at what these agencies are needing, what they're looking to sign, and we give you all the tools necessary to actually sign and be successful in signing with an agency and also being competitive in a national casting setting. That's why we have between 30 or 40 agencies, and Preview Models actually hold a 86% success rate from talent to agencies, which is extremely high in entertainment. It's not good if you're a doctor, but for us, it's a very good percentage. All right. For models going to LA in March, are there agents looking for models to take to Austria? That's very specific.
It's a typo and I meant Australia. That's gonna be my common sense. So
hey, I've been to Austria. We've been to Austria with preview models before. Maybe it is Austria. Who knows? All right. So if you're going to Los Angeles in March, the agencies there are looking for national representation inside the US. That's mainly what we're going to be focused on when you're coming through the Hollywood productions. If there's a look or a need for the talent or for that look to be a part of one of our Paris shows or an Australia show, that's a specific look and a specific type of talent. So coming in March, is there a possibility that we can go to Australia? Yes, absolutely. But what we're going to be doing with those agencies is you're looking to sign on a national level with a top agency and start working within entertainment. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Do outfits?
Hold on, because we're supposed to be educational in here as well, and just not only talk about the preview models event. So there used to be a time that agencies would sign someone, let's say a New York agency, and then they would ship their models or lend their models out to agencies in other countries around the world. You don't see this very much anymore. Now you would have to be signed with one of those agencies in one of those particular markets, and then that agency would help you arrange travel to get there. So another reason why you're not going to be seeing any LA agents looking for people to send, abroad.
Okay. So do outfits for comp photos need to be plain, or can I wear my cool outfits? All right. So comp cards. We kind of want to talk about comp cards. I think that's what we're talking about, right? Comp photos, comp cards that we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
So for comp cards, I'm gonna let Peyton talk about comp cards because he's very knowledgeable about comp cards and it's kind of one of his specialties that he talks about. But there are different looks on the comp card, and normally, if you want to talk about comp cards, I'm gonna grab a comp card and show one if you don't mind.
I can do that. So, do outfits for comp cards, set of photos, need to be plain, or can I wear my cool outfits? Well, cool is definitely in the eye of the beholder. You're cool definitely may not be mine. And so you don't want to, especially if you're coming to like a preview models event where you're not represented by an agency yet and you're trying to, put yourself in front of these people and show them that you're a fit for as many potential things as possible. You don't want to kind of pigeonhole yourself and, you know, come up with these crazy over the top outfits that may do that. And so the agents can put you in whatever we want. We can add hair, we can add nails, we can do whatever. So really for a comp card, at least at the preview models level, and a comp card, if you're not represented and you're trying to find agencies on your own, should be closer to what digitals would look like. So that's like a plain nondescript outfit. If you just search online model digitals, or if you're a client, you can ask client relations, we can send you some examples. That's what I would make your comp card look a little bit closer towards. And then
I have a couple I have a couple examples. One is a girl here, right? So we have one look on the front with our name, and on the back we usually have between 3 and 4 different looks. Okay, here we have something, it's like athletics / dancing. Over here we have a casual look, we have a formal look. So, and then you have all your measurements there on the bottom. I don't know if it has her actual stuff, so I'm just going to do this, but because this is an actual client. So this is a good comp card here for a girl. And a men's comp card, I have one here. Good old Michael. These are both clients from Preview Models. Has one look on the front, has 3 to 4 looks on the back with different varieties of different outfits. Okay, and then of course all the measurements on the bottom. So yeah, you can wear your cool outfits on your comp card. All right.
Yeah, I just told you not to. So
well, these are kind of cool outfits. I mean, I don't know what we're talking about cool, but like
they are still plain. And that's why I said, you know, cool is definitely up to the eye of the beholder. And so it's very broad what cool could be. I explained that their cool may not be anything close to my cool. And so same thing for like agents. So go with my answer. However,
most of America doesn't think that you're cool is their cool.
Yeah, I read all the comments. They think otherwise. Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. What would it take to get signed? What do we look for? Okay, and I want to be really clear on this topic. Preview Models, we are an international production company, right? We're not signing anybody as talent. We're not an agency. We don't represent any talent, and we don't send people on jobs. That's what agents and managers do. So what would it take to get signed? I mean, there's a lot that is going into, you know, what would it take to get signed, right? Personality, a look. I mean, really, that's a really big, broad question of what would it take to get signed. I mean, really, that's your determination. That's what are you bringing to the table? But what do we look for? We look for people that are easy to work with, people that are determined, people that are business minded, and people that really want to work on a national level, right? All we do is we're dealing with national work and also international work with our international productions. Okay. And that is a very tough business. It's very hard to work nationally and internationally, and the competition level is, you know, at the highest. You're talking about auditioning with some of the top actors, models in the world. So what we do is we prepare that talent to really be competitive at that level. And what we look for is a talent that is going to have that determination and to really put it to work for themselves. When we give them the tools, because we give you every tool necessary at being successful, but it's on the talent to do the work. That's why I say we look for business-minded individuals, people that really want this for themselves and will really just kind of take it and run with it with what we give them. You know, I always say, you know, if you're coming into the show, like, have that mindset that this is here for me. Like, this is my opportunity. I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to be noticed, to stand out, to book an agent, to go for, like, I'm going to get on YouTube and I'm going to watch these videos. I'm going to look at different actors or models that I might look up to, and how did they get these roles? What did they do? What is their fitness routine? Right. So it's like really researching and putting to work in yourself. If that's really what you want. It's hard work, determination. is what I would say. What do you think about that answer?
My answer is always the same. What does it take to get signed? You need to be competitive on a national and maybe an international level. At the end of the day, that means that an agency thinks that you can make them money. And there's a lot of different things that can make that determination. But the biggest thing is that, you know, you're consistent in whatever you do and you're prepared every time that you get in front of one of these companies or representatives from one of these companies. So be prepared, understand how the industry works. Yeah, those are, I mean, sounds simple, but it's a lot more difficult than it sounds.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. I am on the production for March show, and I was wondering if we need a portfolio. Well, I would say it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring different looks or bring a portfolio because you're talking about meeting with 30 to 40 agencies, casting directors, managers, and you don't know what they're looking for or what look they might be looking for. And so, yeah, I would say come prepared. Have a portfolio done, have a lookbook done, have like your best photos that is just ready to show to different agencies or to us or to our top models. Hey, Don, hey, Laura, what do you guys think of this photo? Like, what do you think should be on my comp card? What do you think should be in my portfolio? Like, that's what these events are for. They're for networking. They're for understanding the industry and you know, moving forward, signing with agencies and going out and actually being successful in entertainment. So that's what I would say. Do you want to touch on that or you want to keep going?
I can touch on it. Again, we talked about portfolios already. So if you have done work in the past, even if it's somebody local, you do have a portfolio. You have photos from that work that you did. And so a portfolio, I already explained, is kind of the resume for models. Most of the clients that are coming to the LA events or any of our events do not have work yet. And so theoretically, you don't have a portfolio, but for you, the portfolio would just be to kind of showcase more versatility in addition to what your comp card has. It's not a formal portfolio, but more is always better. Coming back to the last question about being prepared, if you have enough photos to turn into a portfolio, then by all means, you need to come with them prepared.
Okay, moving on. When are you guys going to Chicago? I don't know. Not sure. It's not on the list right now, but I do love Chicago. I love Chicago pizza. I love the Chicago hot dogs. But it's not on our list. But if you are in Chicago and you are interested in auditioning for preview models, how can they do that, Mr. Payton?
So basically follow our Instagram. We always announce where we're going on there. And you can also just reach out to auditions@previewmodels.com or just DM us on Instagram and ask us if we're coming to Chicago. But if we're not, which we probably won't for a few months because we already have our schedule completely full, you can always do a one-on-one audition with one of our casting directors. Same thing. Reach out directly to auditions@previewmodels.com or just DM us on Instagram. That's the best way. I guess you can do it on TikTok too. We're on there also.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on TikTok now, and so is Preview Models. So make sure you follow the Preview Models TikTok. Okay, so moving on. What artist is performing in the October event? Give us a hint. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can't give any spoilers out. If you're going to October, I believe that you have a Zoom coming up with your producer, who is the season 19 winner of America's Next Top Model, Miss Laura James. And she's going to kind of go over the actual event for you. I will say that we do have a few celebrity designers. We have Getty Images that's going to be there. We have a lot of press releases. We have a few performers that are going to be there, but I can't give you a hint yet because it's not for me to release at the moment. I'm going to let Miss Laura James do that. Okay. All right. Moving on. So this is my first production ever. Okay. So this is my first production ever. Will be the one in March. Okay. That won't be the only production with preview, right? LOL. So As far as your production and what you're signed up to do, right? We only want you to go to one of these productions, okay? As much as we love you all and we'd love you to come to every single production, right? We want it to be successful for you. We want you to go through the process, understand the business, get all the tools that you need to sign with an agency, and then move on and sign with an agency and go out and do work, because that's the fun part of entertainment, is actually doing jobs and getting paid for it, right? So if you're signed up for the March, you're signed up for one production. Now, there might be opportunity for you to go to Paris if there's a look. There's also an opportunity to possibly go to Australia. They're all different agencies within the market. So let's touch on just really quick. What are the agencies that we're working with in Paris?
So agencies in Paris are obviously from the European market. The UK market comes as well, because like London, because they do a lot of billing through London. And then we also sometimes have some of the Asian market as well as South African market that comes to that particular event.
And I'm going to ask you next, right? What agencies are going to be coming to the Australian production?
Even easier. So you have Australian markets, New Zealand markets, and then also Asian markets as well, because we're closer to Asia. Asia being, South Korea, Hong Kong, sometimes Malaysia, Tokyo, all the places you've heard about before.
Yeah. So so if you're going to that March production, focus on March. Focus on, the US market. Focus on just, bettering yourself, getting ready for a national production, because it is a huge opportunity, right? So get yourself ready. Do all the work. Check out the YouTubes. Come on these lives. We have a huge live coming, actually 2 huge lives coming next month, and I'll talk about it at the end. But like, come prepared. Diet, exercise, skincare. Not saying lose like a ton of weight or like be unhealthy. Like, just be your best you when it comes to your production time, because this is your opportunity and you want to grab it for sure. Okay. So let's move on. Okay. Would you do an audition for acting on October, or is it only modeling casting? Okay. So the agencies that we're working with, and how we're training you and giving you all the tools, is we're going to give you the tools for everything. That's going to be acting, modeling, and then also if you're a trained singer or a trained dancer, like, put that on your resume. The more things that you do in entertainment, the more doors that will open. The agencies, management companies, and casting directors that we work with deal with all aspects of entertainment: acting, modeling, singing, dancing, and influencing, right? So we actually have some really big social media influencers come in. They work with you on how to brand yourself or how to get brand deals. And we have different agencies that also represent social media influencers. So it's a very wide range of representation. So it's going to be acting, modeling, singing, dancing, social media. So whatever it is that you do and you're good at, like, make sure we have all those skills. Okay. And let's move on. Our agencies confirmed, because my agency was on the list, but they never heard of you guys. Okay. Yes, right now, how many agencies do we have confirmed for October? Do we know that list? And that's crazy. But I know that LA Models, Wilhelmina IMG, Hollywood Model Management, State Management, there's some really big agencies that are attending this. And you have to also understand, like, when you're talking with a certain agent, just because a certain agent who in that agency may not have heard of whatever the opportunity is, doesn't mean the agency doesn't work with us. Because within LA Models, there's a lot of different divisions. There's a commercial, there's runway, there's print. So there's so many different agencies within that agent. But yes, we have between 30 to 40 agencies every single production. At our last production, how many agencies do we have, Peyton? Do you remember?
We had almost 40 at the last production, and we actually had to turn some away which I anticipate that we're going to have to do this go round as well. So another little note on that is, you know, you're going off of the list of agencies that you saw in the initial, you know, brochure that explained what the event is all about. All of those agents, for clarity, do not come to every single event. All of those agents are not invited to every single event because we only invite the agencies from our Rolodex that is going to be a fit for each particular, you know, show. It's never this extreme, but let's say that we had nothing but kids in a show. Obviously, we're not going to bring any, you know, nothing but adult agents because that would be useless. And so, you know, it's possible, I don't know who your agency is. You can drop that in the chat or whatever. But it's possible that your agency hasn't been in a couple of shows also, just based on what we're looking for.
Yeah, and they never heard of us. Tell them to turn on the television. I'm on TV, on TLC, on HBO. I'm sure they'll figure it out. All right. So let's see. How can we be a part of future auditions if we are unable to make the auditions in person? So we do have a virtual audition process. I believe you can actually message the Preview Models Instagram. I think we're going to put a link maybe in the chat for people that want to audition virtually. Can we do that, Amber? And other than that, you can go to the Instagram. You can direct message us. Is there a link on the Preview Models Instagram that takes them right to audition?
I think there's always a link that goes to the specific audition that we're doing, but Amber and the rest of the Stephania on our team are on it, and most likely while we were saying this, it was already dropped into the chat, so we're good.
Okay, got it. Let's see. Do you have to be experienced for the casting in Columbus, Ohio? No, absolutely not. And you know what? If you have no experience, that's great. This is for you. If you have a ton of experience, that's great. This is for you. We are looking for people that really just want to get into entertainment and follow your dreams and really just make this something for yourself. Okay. Like I said, we're not reinventing the wheel here, but what we are doing is we have a great Rolodex of people that we're working with. You're going to be working with America's Next Top Model celebrities, or different celebrities or industry professionals once a month with us. You're going to be working with our administration team once a month. We have lives. We have a video tutorial system. We have well over 100+ videos from different top models and different celebrities. So we're going to make sure that going into the production, you'll have the knowledge, you'll have the tools, you'll have the know-how to meet with these agencies, what they're looking for, to sign with them, and then to be successful in actually doing work. So if you have no experience, don't worry about it. That's great. Come with an open mind and just have fun with it. Come out of your comfort zone a little bit, because you know maybe it's a little weird. Just walk in the runway for the first time, but just have fun with it. The casting directors there that this weekend are Jeff and Katie, right? In Columbus, Ohio, in Hallie's there. There's a great team there. We actually have an agent from Ophelia Management that will be at that Columbus, Ohio casting. So, just go and have fun, I would say. Like if this is what you want to do, let them know. Like, this is something I've always thought of. This is what I want to do, and who knows? Maybe we'll see you in Hollywood in March 2025, because that's, I believe, we're casting for this weekend, March 2025 Hollywood show. So, all right. Keep going. I see a ton of questions coming in and I'm way behind. Okay. I'm most definitely interested. Where can I apply and find your list of castings? But I mentioned that one over and over. But just follow the Instagram. I don't have like a full list that I can give you right now of the rest of the year. But what we do is, if you do follow the Preview Models Instagram, they'll post or do a story every week of the cities that we're going to be attending, what's upcoming. And if you don't want to wait, like we said, message us on Instagram. I think that we're going to drop a link in the actual chat. If you're interested in auditioning, let us know, because that's what we do. All right. Let's keep going here. Do we ever come to Oklahoma? Absolutely, we do. We come to Oklahoma. We come to Oklahoma City. We go to OKC. We haven't been to Tulsa in a while because it's a little bit, how do we say? No, I don't. I like Oklahoma City. Tulsa's another story, but OKC we definitely come to. And also, you don't have to wait for us to come to Oklahoma. You can audition virtually. All right. Name a few of these top agencies. Okay, LA Models, Wilhelmina, IMG, Hollywood Model Management, State Management. I mean, the list is huge of who we actually work with. Yeah.
Lot.
Yeah. All right. Could you provide any insight or advice for models who don't meet the typical height requirements? Are the agents attending looking for that standard? Well, what is the standard? Really, there's not much of like a standard anymore for like entertainment in general. Okay. That being said, like you don't have to be 5'9" and completely skinny, right? The agencies have changed a lot over the last couple of years. You know, plus size modeling is on the rise. There's social media influencing. There's lifestyle modeling. You can have tattoos and piercings. I'm not saying get tattoos or piercings, but I'm just saying there's really no discrimination as far as what the entertainment industry is looking for anymore. Like it's wide open. If this is something that you really want to do, there's a place for you. There really is. There's a place for Peyton. If he this way, there's a place for Peyton if he wanted to audition, right? Now, are there requirements for specific agencies? Yeah, there are requirements for specific agencies, right? So like LA Models Runway Division is going to look for specific height requirements, weight requirements, right? But that's not for everybody. So there are standards for some agencies, but not for entertainment as a whole. Do you think I got all that?
Yes, we went down the rabbit hole there, but to keep things simple, two types of modeling for the most part. There's the high fashion runway that you're thinking of when you think of that standard, and then there's print work, which kind of no size, height, age requirement. Just by default, most of the models that come to our event are more commercial print models, to the point where, just last week, I got a call from one of the managers that comes to our event that was calling on behalf of another agency, asking why that agency wasn't invited because they have a huge print department and they always find good talent at our events. That's the easiest way to look at it. You're either high fashion runway or print work, commercial print work. Sometimes there's some crossover.
Okay, if you have no acting experience, what should you do for your resume? Okay, well, if you're coming to the Preview Models production, okay, and that's what I'm guessing that we're talking about, is we are going to build some experience into that resume. We're going to have you working with top acting coaches. We actually have a talent management company that actually comes into the production and they work with you specifically on delivering lines and how to act. And so that's what Preview Models does, is it's going to build that experience within your resume for these agencies, because these agencies, they need that experience. They need those bullet points to send you on these jobs so that you can be successful in the casting. So that's what we're doing, is we are building that experience within you. I mean, if you're just coming into the production, I mean, have you done plays before? Like, what have you done acting wise? And how do we know that we're even interested in acting if you haven't done it at all before? It would be my question, but we will be building that experience within you for the experience and acting part of it. Okay. Do you scout international models? Yes, absolutely. We do scout international models, and we have international productions. We have an international production in Paris in December, and we have an international production in Sydney, Australia in May 17th of 2025. But yes, absolutely. This is an international production company. If you're interested in international modeling, there's a link on this chat. Send us the info. All right. Let's see. How much is the price to get into your program? It's an interesting question. How much is the price to get into your program? Well, as far as let's talk about it this way. Let's talk about investment into entertainment, okay? Because I think that's what we're kind of getting at. Now, if we are trying to if we're talking about auditioning on the highest level, right? You're going to be auditioning against the Don Benjamins, the Laura Jameses, right? Who have this full resume of work, right? They've done they're America's Next Top Model celebrities. Laura's a Victoria's Secret model. Don's a guest model, right? They have a lot of different things already going for them, right? Laura's in different feature films as well as Don. So I like to say, if this is something that you're getting into, this is a constant investment within yourself. Okay. This is not something that it's like, hey, let's sign up and be famous, right? It's not a thing. Even if you do sign with an agency, you're still going to have to invest in yourself. And this is a really, like, people don't understand the back end of it. They just think, whoa, I'm just so pretty. LA Models is going to walk in the door and hand me a national target campaign. Like, that's how it happens. You never do anything. So you have to be willing to invest in yourselves. And if we had Don or Laura on here, I mean, they'd tell you first and foremost, like, it's a constant investment in yourself. You're constantly going to, you got to better yourself, because you got to be at the top of your game when it comes to these auditions. So you want to work with the top acting coaches. You want to work with the top modeling coaches. You want to work with the top photographers. Like, these are things that are necessities in entertainment. I mean, even in the acting world of things, like, those actors, they're constantly going to acting classes in Los Angeles, in New York. They're bettering their crafts, because you're talking about auditioning on the highest level. So if you're not recording error. Oh, okay. If you're not ready to invest in yourself as far as entertainment is concerned, it's not the business for you. Okay. You're not just going to get in here and you're just going to, boom, I'm going to book a movie because I'm just so good looking. Okay. That's not how it works. There's millions and millions of good looking people, but it really is going to boil down to, how good are you at your craft, right? How good are your photos? So it's a constant investment in yourself. So if you are getting into entertainment, regardless of whatever program it is, make sure that you are ready to invest in yourself, right? If I wanted to be a doctor, I couldn't just go to the local hospital and grab a scalpel and be like, well, I'm just really good with blood, so I'm gonna carve around in here, and one day I'm gonna get it. One day I'll get it, and I'm gonna get paid hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? No, I'm going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to perfect my craft, so I'm the best surgeon. So just like any craft, if you want to be the best at it, you're going to invest in yourself. That's all I'm going to say.
Wait, I'm going to jump in here because my assistant is texting me and telling me that I'm not talking enough. But the problem is that Josh had coffee after 12, as in coffee like right now. And so he's not breathing, and he's
Amber,
also on a quality show. So he's
Amber,
a camera. And so
I have been asking Peyton every single answer.
Anyways, correct. But I'm willing to answer, things, but you got to take a breath every once in a while. It's not a
I've been giving you.
Anyway, so I'll just continue on here. So, because this can go on forever if we don't hop in here. So I was scrolling through questions, so I'm trying not to skip around here. When are you coming to Sydney, please? So that's not this weekend, but the following weekend. I don't have my calendar in front of me because I'm talking to you guys, but not this weekend, but the following. So if you need an exact date on that, you can reach out to our Instagram. Which production would you recommend attending between the LA and Paris one? So that's the first part of the question. So if you're a US citizen and you've never been to one of the Los Angeles events, you 100% should do that first. And so the Paris event in particular is a different type of event than the LA show. So there's actually not even a show with the Paris event. It's on location photo shoots all over the city. And it's more just geared towards really getting international exposure and representation. So if you're trying to decide between LA and Paris, we're going to make the decision for you. LA is the one that you need to go to. What kind of exposure will Paris give? Just said that. So it's international. And then just to reiterate those agencies, we're talking about European agencies, London agencies, because a lot of billing is done through there, sometimes Asian markets, and then sometimes the South African markets.
All right.
And no national exposure at all. Well, there's national within Paris, obviously. That's its nation, but no national in terms of US.
All right. So can you talk us through the process of the event? Wow, that's a really long answer.
Actually, the better thing is if you do want to see what the 4 days of the event are, then what you can do is you can DM our Instagram and ask to see what the 4-day event is, and we'll send you a private YouTube link that walks you through the whole thing. We can do that.
Okay. And so we are also getting people are asking a lot, how do they sign up for Australia? So you check the Instagram. We're going to publish all the casting links there. Okay. I do know that we are in Australia, not this weekend, but next weekend. If you have the dates, Peyton, let's go over Australia dates. Do you have the dates in front of you?
Well, I just explained that because I'm talking to everybody here, I don't have the Australian dates. And I told everyone that it's not this weekend, but next. But if they need the exact date, they can DM us on Instagram. And I'm sure that Amber and Estefania has already put it in the chat. 28 is what it is.
Okay, so yeah. So we're going to Sydney next weekend. Next Saturday, we're in Sydney. Then the following Wednesday, we're going to Gold Coast. And then that Saturday after that, we'll be in Melbourne. So we will post that on the Instagram. Okay, so let's see. Do we need a portfolio for the casting in Ohio, or will a comp card be fine? I don't have a physical book for my portfolio. So I would say the comp card will be fine. If you have a comp card, that's great. Bring your comp card, bring your resume, and that will be more than enough for the casting on Saturday in Columbus. All right. We've already answered that, so we're going to keep going. Okay, so how about if I don't have any experience in modeling? Can I still join? Yes, absolutely. Like I said before, it's same kind of with the acting side of things. We are going to build skills within you. You're going to work with our top models. You're going to work with all of our industry professionals, all of our celebrities, and we are going to build all that experience and knowledge within you before you meet with any agencies. Not only that, you're going to be working with top LA award-winning designers, designers from the television show Making the Cut, Project Runway, and also celebrity designs. So when it comes to experience, even if you don't have it, that's fine. We have more than enough knowledge and help to help you out, and also put this all in your resume before you meet with agencies. All right, let's go. I already answered that one. For pictures to show agents, this is going to be for you, Peyton. For pictures to show agents, when you have them taken, if they are not professional, but they show you in a different ways, like swimsuits, dresses, jeans, etc., should they be edited or no filter?
It depends in what context you're showing the agency. So if you already have like a good quality comp card with solid professional photos on it, and you're just trying to show the agent, you know, a little bit of versatility, and you want to show them those super raw, unedited photos in that context, it would be fine. If you're showing the agency digitals, which digitals by nature are very, very natural, and for the most part, a digital is not edited. However, they are professional and the lighting's really good. So there's a professionalism to them. If we're talking about you just like snapping some pictures with your iPhone or something, and you know the lighting's hit or miss, I would save those for something else. And definitely don't like throw your own filter on there and show them. Like have a professional do that. My initial response is that unless it's a professional digital that is not edited, or it is a professionally edited photo like on a comp card, or I would not show the agent initially unless y'all are already in some type of communication and they're already kind of interested.
Okay, moving on. I don't know what this word is.
Most likely
is that an actual word?
Yeah, it's most likely partner.
Oh, I was gonna say, man, this person's real smart. Anyways, do we partner with elite model agency Elite does attend the Preview Models productions. So we have Elite at the actual productions. Normally they're there every time, right? At Elite. We work with Elite pretty much every time.
In the last several shows. But for clarity, for everybody out there, none of the agencies that come to our event are we partnering with. These agencies are only coming to our event because in the past, they have found good, solid, quality talent at the event, and they come back because, talent doesn't come from LA and New York. It goes there. And one of the ways that they find it is by coming to, our events.
Yeah. Okay. Is there going to be a chance to have our pictures taken with Getty Images? In one of the Preview Model Zoom sessions, someone mentioned a red carpet opportunity before the show. So at the actual production, we do have a red carpet. It's themed. You'll know your theme here pretty soon once you have your meeting with Laura James. And Getty Images is at the production. They are shooting. And I think it's just really going to depend on what designer you're walking with, how you look on the runway, but there is a chance to get your picture taken with Getty Images on the runway and also on the red carpet. Will Don Benjamin be there? Yes, he will. Don Benjamin will be there.
Talking about the production. If you're talking about position, no.
Yes. If you're talking about the production, Don Benjamin and Leanne Benjamin will both be at the October production and the March production. And they're also talking about being a part of the Paris production as well as the Australian one. But for sure, yes, October, they will both be there. Okay. Would it be, I'm going to give this one to you, Peyton. Would it be a problem to have your own personal brand that you're working on to promote and your own model?
And you're your own model is
and
what it says.
You are your own model. Got it.
I mean, it's not a problem at all. I think it's good that, again, we're looking for business-minded people. You have your own brand. So you're, doing something. I don't know if it's a clothing brand or what it is, but that's cool. I don't think that it's going to give you any like bonus points that you say that you're your own model for your own company. I mean, cool, I can do that too. But from the business side of things, like I think it's good that you have your own brand and that you're working on that. And I think the agencies are going to more be focused on that side of it, that, you're business minded.
Okay. And just to clarify, Sydney, Australia is Saturday. What month are we in? September? Okay. Saturday, September 28th. So Sydney is Saturday, September 28th. Okay. Is there a red carpet for March? There is. There's always a red carpet at our productions. So if you're coming to Los Angeles, there's always going to be a red carpet event. It's themed to the show. Like I said, I can't go over what the theme is just yet because you're going to have that Zoom with your producer, Laura James, and you guys will go over everything. But yes, there's a red carpet. Getty Images is there. Celebrities are there. And actually, the celebrities that we have are bringing some of the celebrities we have some television influence, and MTV will be at the October show, and a little network TLC will be looking into the October one as well. So there's a few networks that will probably be there. All right. Dates for Australia, just so we have them. Sydney, September 28th. Gold Coast, October 2nd. Melbourne, October 5th. Okay, so that's when we're going to be in Australia. If you don't want to wait for us, like I said, you can audition virtually, but I would love to see you in person because me and Peyton are going to be at those both of those auditions. So I think that's all the time that we have today. I know Mr. Peyton is extremely hungry, so we're going to let him go to dinner. But I want to say thank you guys all for coming on today. Thank you guys for your time. Peyton, thank you for your time and coming on. It was fun. I hope that you guys learned something and got some guidance and got some of your questions answered. We're going to do another live. Do you know when the next live is? I know I should have wrote that down, but I didn't. That next live is, do you know?
We don't have a live scheduled yet, but most likely it'll be back when we get back from Australia.
Yeah, when we get back from Australia. And I know that we are trying to get some very special guests for that one in October. It's going to be a really good one. We have some really big social media influencers that are going to be joining us and talking social media. So that's going to be a really good one. But Peyton, any words of wisdom for the group while we end tonight?
Same as always. If this is what you want to do, if this is the industry that you want to be in, then, you know, educate yourself about it, treat it like any other business, take it seriously, and be professional always. It's always same thing. Be an A player, not a B player, not a C player, an A player. That's all we want.
You've been on that lately, this A players and B players. Yeah. Okay.
I have no tolerance for incompetence. That includes from our clients.
They're not scared. Don't worry. All right. So, yeah, thank you guys all for joining us tonight. We appreciate your guys' time, and we'll see you guys on the next live. Thank you guys so much.
See you.